You're a dork.
Hey guys, welcome back. One question that I'm asked quite a bit is, how is it that you actually touch and feel a face and understand what it looks like? So I thought I would show you today exactly how I do it.
While torturing me.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes during a sitting, it's fun to try out different things. So I thought it would be fun to try out things on Jacqi's face while we do it.
Hence the black t-shirt.
Yeah.
So, but John's doing a series of strong women for an upcoming gallery show. And so one of the paintings you were wanting to do, you want to tell them what you were wanting to do?
Yeah. So it's a show that's going to start in Arkansas, and it features all strong women. And in this one, though, I want the canvas to be of a woman's face and a lot of emotion, so it's almost like tears of color. And I've done some similar sort of paintings, or maybe not similar, but paintings along that same vein. But I wanted to do one of Jacqi with the emotion and the, not really tears. I don't know, tears are
strength.
It is, I mean, so look, it's running down the face. Like the color is actually running down the face. So it's not tears, but it's like emotion, and it could be tears. Yeah. I don't know, if you get emotional and be like, if you cry purple and blue and green and all these other colors. So
every day.
Oh, well, that's sad. Yeah, I don't know if that's sad or happy. Like unicorn tears, the tears of joy.
So what we're imagining is I'm gonna put some dark eyeshadow. I'm gonna Mad Max this up a little bit, and then I think John's gonna go in with his hopefully face safe paint and drip it on my face, kind of get a feel for like the vibe of it, the composition, and make a painting out of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
All right.
There was one cool thing that I didn't realize. Whenever Jacqui was doing this, she said that she was going for the chicken Mad Max, like that look.
Yeah,
I didn't know what she looked like. Oh, Charlize Theron. Yeah. So now I'm starting to figure out what that Charlize Theron looks like.
When I think of Strong Women, that's a pretty awesome movie, and she's crazy. So anyway.
Well, when I think of Strong Women, I think of you, sweetheart.
Oh.
I mean it. But I want to show really quickly about how you can go about understanding what somebody looks like through touch. And really, it's a basic concept, and it's combining a couple of things, ways that painters have broken down paintings for centuries to understand a composition. So instead of breaking down the composition like of a painting, you're applying those techniques to a face. And the other thing are the orientation and mobility techniques that you learn with a white cane. And so when you learn how to use a white cane or a guide dog, basically you're learning how to spatially orient things. So like, if you touch one thing, if you're trailing in a room and you touch a couch, and then you're going a little bit further, like 3 steps further, and you touch a chair, you spatially orient those things so that you know where they are. And I know that sounds hard and it sounds difficult, but honestly, it's very easy. Use your hands to do this sort of thing all the time. If you're playing a video game, like our son Jack, oh my goodness, every video game controller he has buttons in different places. And of course, they aren't looking at the buttons. They remember that. They can feel it with their hands. Your hands are really good at being able to take in information like that.
Yeah.
Or a car or a remote control for a TV or any of that. But I think that's important to know that your brain is wired for this. It's just that I'm taking it and applying it in a different way. So what I do is, it's the same way that if you're doing a caricature or you're breaking down a painting. So if you're doing a caricature, if you're going to do a portrait of a person, what you're looking for is the outside line of the hair. So it's just basically where the hair goes. And then you look for the inside line, so where the hair goes on the closest to the face. Now, the way Jacqi's hair is now, it makes it a little easier. Sometimes, like if the hair's all curly and wavy, it makes it a little harder. Then you start breaking down the face into areas. And I'm going to move your face a little bit. Oh, you already broke the first rule. You always ask before you touch somebody's face. But we already agreed beforehand, I promise. So whenever I do that, we have your Bajoran here. Look at that.
Yeah.
So all the Star Trek fans out there, there you go. So the basic thing is that you break everything down into smaller and smaller chunks, and that makes it easier to remember. So like an ear, I'll break it down into 3 parts. You got the top, the middle, and the bottom. Then those parts you break into other parts. You have the top, the middle top, and the bottom top. And you just feel. And what you're doing is you're feeling for the basic shape. So does the ear follow, the basic shape of an ear, or does it go a little above the angle or a little below it? And the more ears you feel, the better, easier that is. So, it's just whatever you expect. You think, does it go above it or below it? Then you go to the next section. Does that go a little above or a little below, or is it right on the angle that you expected? Then the next. And what you're doing is you're building, of course, with the earrings here, that's something you want to take note of. But it's just building a shape. And I know that may sound complex, but I teach this to sighted people, to sighted artists. We've done workshops at the Dallas Museum of Art where I've shown sighted people how to do this without any sort of orientation mobility training. And you're able to build these complex 3D maps in your head. The other thing that I'm looking for are what I call pivot points and anchor points. So there's just parts where a feature begins and a feature ends. So I'm looking for the cheekbones and where the bottom of the chin is. So I have that. So I have the basic shape here. Then looking for the eyes. The pivot point is right in the beginning here of the eye, and then the anchor point is out here. So I'm just feeling for the shape, and I'm just thinking, does it go down, above, or does it go in a straight line? That's all that matters. I'm not having to think about angles or degrees. I'm feeling for the eyebrows. I find the anchor point and the pivot point, the beginning and the end. Does it go curve up, curve down, go straight? On the nose is sort of the same thing. Now the bulb of the nose, it can be round, it can be square, polygon shaped, all these different shapes. So I'm just feeling what shape it is, and it's round. And then I'm feeling the philtrum. That's the little part right in between the divot, and feeling the. Let's take a look. And then the lips. And the lips, you're doing this. The anchor point is right in the middle, and you're looking for the pivot out to the end. Now I know this sounds complex, but you're just building up one little step at a time, and you do it the same way each time, and you do it enough, and it becomes a little bit easier and a little bit easier. First time you feel something like that, it's fairly rudimentary. But I want to ask you, what did you do with the makeup?
Okay, so
I might have smeared it everywhere. I don't
know. I mean, I just took black eyeshadow and just did basically a strip. Almost, sorry, I'm not as good at feeling your face. A strip basically going almost like kind of just like your sunglasses are across my eyes. So
you just want to be like me, don't you?
I do. Anyway, a little fierceness going on, and then you can get crazy with the extra paint.
Oh, that's good.
So.
That's cool, and that's one of the main things about this is feeling to understand is that it's just like drawing or painting. You start out small with it, and then you keep building at it, and it becomes easier and easier. And it's just building on basic art techniques and O&M techniques. And art techniques, as you know, if you ever tried to do art, it takes practice. So the more you practice, the better you get. The same is true with a white cane or a guide dog. The more you practice those techniques, the better you get. Well, this is just combining both of those things. So it takes some practice, but it's just a way of being able to break down a complex sort of shape and to be able to understand it spatially. I do the exact same thing, and so does every other blind person in a room that they walk around. You're breaking that room down in a city that you walk in. So you're just taking that basic idea and you're putting it in on a face. And that's really all it is. And the more you do it, the easier it is to do.
Cool.
So now we get to have some fun.
Oh, boy.
Now, this is something that I found, I don't really have to paint people. I mean, I do. You're not getting out of this. No, I could paint her face in my mind. But one of the great things about actually touching to see and being able to do this and get a 3D idea of the way a person looks is the interaction. If you're a sighted artist, one thing that I've noticed you completely lose out on is this interaction. A lot of times you see a sighted artist and the model's on the other side of the room. They might say, "Hi, how you doing?" and that's about it. And they may spend an hour or two together and barely say 10 words. You never know. With this, you're hands-on, you're talking, and you're interacting, and you get to understand how that person reacts, and you also get to get their feedback. So,
all right,
the more of yourself that you put into your art, the more that you get out of it. And right now I'm going to put a lot of Jacqi into my art. So we've already got some colors out here and mixed up a little bit. And I have a little palette, and they're in order. So I have a red, a yellow, a blue, and then a violet.
And they are face paints.
Oh, yeah, they're face paints.
Yeah, so we're not getting that crazy.
It's not that I couldn't find the face paint and had to use my lead-based paint at all.
All right.
So I'm just going to fill around in here. Yeah.
Okay, so we just we were playing with some paint. John was doing colors, and then I jumped in and started to add some colors. So what are you thinking about for this composition? Because you took a bunch of photos of me looking at different areas and all that. So how is it going to go down?
Yeah, well, I was thinking right away when I started putting the paint on, I thought, why am I doing this? Like, it'd be more interesting to see what you did with the paint. Like what the process of it, because I'll actually be putting the paint on the canvas, so, I can play around with it then. What's the point of me doing it twice, So to get your ideas about what you're doing and hear you talk about it, I thought it was pretty cool. On the canvas, I'm not really sure, going from this, one thing about a setting is not to rush it. So it does give me a lot more ideas than what I would have had just by myself. I had the idea of the colors and the eyes and all, but I'm not sure if looking up or like at an angle or straight. Initially, I was thinking straight on at the canvas, like they're looking right out. But I don't know, maybe off at the angle or maybe the face at an angle.
After doing all this, I kind of liked your idea when you were actually to the side, not 45 degree, but a little bit, like that. And then maybe looking over a little side eye or something that really shows the whites of the eye because there's so much darkness around that maybe they'll pop. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of like that too.
Yeah.
It's my favorite angle for a record, 33 1/3.
Yeah.
So yeah, just have them looking off us a little bit. That could be cool.
So
thanks for doing that. Thanks for posing and
sure, anytime.
Oh, awesome! And it's so interesting that you get so many more ideas than what you would.
Yeah, it's fun.
Just sitting in front of an easel, just trying to get the ideas. Actually, having another person come in and use their own imagination really spices things up, I think. Oh, and this painting, I'm going to do it, and so it'll be on Facebooks and our website and all that kind of stuff soon. So if you're looking at this months or years down the road, it's already been done. If you're looking at it tomorrow, then it hasn't been done yet.
Yes.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. I don't know if you can subscribe on Facebook. That's mostly where we put our stuff, but if you could like it, we'd sure love that.
Cool. Thanks again, guys.